Namaste. We are here again with a new episode Beyond the Boundary. On behalf of Shinjan Nrityalaya and Ministry of Culture, Government of India, I welcome you all this evening. It is very amazing to know how the legacy of Indian culture has spread all over the world through the dedicated personalities. Many of them came to India to taste the nectar of our age-old traditional art and carried it with them to their nests, where they nurtured passionately. On the other hand, few of them couldn't leave the Indian soil for their immense love for the art form. Today, we are proud to present such artists, one from East and one from West, who have carved their niche for themselves to get beyond their boundaries to make names identical to the art form. This evening, we are honored to have Padmashree Guru Ramli Ibrahim and the renowned American-born Odissi exponent Guru Sharon Lowen among us. Born in Kajang in Malaysia, Guru Ramli Ibrahim received his first training in Odissi dance under Guru Devaprasad Das and in Bharatnatyam under Guru Adhyarki Lakshman. He has also learned ballet and modern dance at the Australian Ballet School in Melbourne. An outstanding exponent of Odissi dance, Sri Ramli Ibrahim has won wide acclaim for his distinctive style of presentation. He has single-handedly established this art form in Malaysia and transformed the dance scenario in that country. Sri Ibrahim has been honored with the coveted Padmashree Award, Central Sangeet Natak Academy Award and Datak Shri from Malaysia. This also includes the Fulbright Distinguished Artist Award, the Angarag Lifetime Achievement Award and many others. The government of Malaysia has accorded him recognition as the living heritage. So here we welcome Padmashree Guru Ramli Ibrahim.
ललाट पटके वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभम् नासाग्रे नवमौक्तिकम् करतले वेणुकरे कंकणम् सर्वांगे हरिचंदनम् सुललितं कंठेश्च मुक्ता
दिन किट्ट दय्या ता कड़तक दिन किट्ट तत्ता कड़तक दय्या तत्ता दिन किट्ट तत्त किट्ट बाजे मद्दಳ ಗೋಪಿ ಕುಚ ತಟ್ಟ ನಂದನ ಕಂಸ ನಾಸನ ಮುರಳಿ ಬದನ ಲಳನ ಮಂಡಳ ಕೃತ ರಾಧಾ ಮೋಹಿತ ದರ್ಶನೆ ನೃತ್ಯ ಜಂಜಂತ ಕಡ್ತಕ ಜಂಜಂತ ದಿತ್ತ ದಯ್ಯ ಸಿತ್ತಿ ಜನನ ತತ್ತ 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 ಕಿಟ್ಟ ದಯ್ಯ ಕಡ್ತಕ ದಯ್ಯ ತತ್ತ ತಾಳಿಂದಿ ತಟ್ಟ ವಿಪಿನ ಜಯ ನಟ್ಟ ವರನಿ ಪಾದಪ ಮುಳಿಯ ಚರಣಿ ನುಪುರ ಬಾಜೆ ಕಟೀರೆ ಗಗುಡಿ ತ್ರಿವಂಗ ಸಾಜೆ ದೈ ದೈ ತಾ ಕಡ್ತಕ
बेलायनु झरते जवानी बहते भूगोल मुदिबी छाड़ायाते
ಕಡತಕತ ಥೇನೆ ಥೇನಕ ಥೇನೆ ತಾ ದೇನೆ ದೇನಕ ದೇನೆ ತಾಕ ದೇಗ ದೇ ತಾಕ ದದಿಗನ ತಾ ಕಡತಕತ ಥೇನೆ ಥೇನಕ ಥೇನೆ ತಾ ಕಡತಕತ ದೇನೆ ದೇನಕ ದೇನೆ ಧಾ ಕಡತಕತ ಥೇನೆ ಥೇನಕ ಥೇನೆ ತಾ ದೇನೆ ದೇನಕ ದೇನ್ ತಾಕ ದೇಗ ದೇ ತಾಕ ದದಿಗನ ಥೇನ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಥೇನೆ ಥೇನ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಥೇನೆ ಥೇನ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಥೇನ್ ಥೇನ್ ಥೇನ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಥೇನೆ ಥೇನ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಥೇನೆ ನಕ್ ದೇನ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ದೇನೆ ದೇನ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ದೇನೆ ದೇನ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ದೇನ್ ದಿನ ದಿನ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ದಿನ ನಕ ತಾಕ ದೇಗ ದೇ ತಾಕ ದದಿಗನ ಧಾ 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 ತಾಕ ದೇಗ ದೇ ತಾಕ ದದಿಗನ ದೇಗ ದೇ ತಾಕ ದದಿಗನ ತಾಕ ದೇಗ ದೇ ತಾಕ ದದಿಗನ ತಾಕ ದೇಗ ದೇ ತಾಕ ದದಿಗನ ತತ್ತ ಗದಿಗನ ದದ್ದ ಗದಿಗನ ತತ್ತ ಗದಿಗನ ದದ್ದ ಗದಿಗನ ತತ್ತ ಗದಿಗನ ದದ್ದ ಗದಿಗನ ತತ್ತ ಗದಿಗನ ದದ್ದ ತುಳಿ ಕಿತ್ತ ಕಿತ್ತ ತಕ್ಕ ತುಳಿ 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 ಕಿತ್ತ ಕಿತ್ತ ತುಳಿ 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 ಕಿತ್ತ ಕಿತ್ತ ತಕ್ಕ ತುಳಿ 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 ಕಿತ್ತ ಕಿತ್ತ ತಕ್ಕ ತುಳಿ ತಿಂದರಳ 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 ತಿಂದರ ತಿಂದರಳ 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 ತುಳಿ ಕಿತ್ತ ಕಿತ್ತ ತಕ್ಕ ತುಳಿ ತುಳಿ ದತ್ತ ತುಳಿ ಕಿತ್ತ ಕಿತ್ತ ತಕ್ಕ ತುಳಿ ತುಳಿ ದತ್ತ ದಿನಕ ತುಳಿ ಕಿತ್ತ ದಿನಕ ದಿನಿ ದೇಗ ದಿನಕ ತಿನಿ ದಿನಕ ದಿನಿ ದೇಗ ದಿನಕ ದಿನಿ ನಕ ದಿನಿ ನಕ ದಿನಿ ದಿನಕ ದಿನಿ ನಕ ದಿನಿ ನಕ ದಿನಿ ದಿನ ತದೇಗ ದಿಂದಾತ 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 ತದೇಗ
ತಾಥೇಂದ ಕಿಣ ಝೇಳುತ್ತ ಹಿಡಿತಗೆ ತಾಥೇಂದ ಕಿಣ ಝೇಳುತ್ತ ಹಿಡಿತಗೆ ತಾ ಹಿಡಿತಗೆ ತಾ ಹಿಡಿತಗೆ ಕುಕ್ಕುಂದರಿತ ಹಿಡಿತಗೆ ತಾ ಹಿಡಿತಗೆ ತಾ ಹಿಡಿತಗೆ ಕುಕ್ಕುಂದರಿತ ಹಿಡಿತಗೆ
ದೇ ದಿನಕ ತಿನಿ ದಿನಕ ತಿನಿ ದೇ 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 ತಾ ದೇ ದಿನಕ ತಿನಿ ದಿನಕ ದಿನ ದಿಗಿದ ದಿನಕ ದಿನಿ ದಿಗಿದ ದಿನಿ ದಿಗಿದ ದಿನಿ ದಿಗಿದ ದಿನಿ ದಿಗಿದ ದಿನಕ ದಿನಿ ದಿಗಿದ ದಿನಿ ದಿಗಿದ ಗದಿಗನ ಜಣಂ ತಕಿಟ ತಕತ್ತ ಗದಿಗನ ದಿಂದಾತ ತದೇಗ 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 ದಿನಿಕ ದದ್ರಗ ದಿನ ದಿನಿಕ ದದ್ರಗ ದಿನ ದಿನಿಕ ದದ್ರಗ ದಿನ ದಗ ದಿನ ದಿನಿಕ ದದ್ರಗ ದಿನ ದಿನಿಕ ದಗ ದಿನ ದಿನಿಕ ದಗ ದಿನ ದಿನಿಕ ಕೈ ತೈ ದೈ 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 ದಿನಿಕ ದದ್ರಗ ದಿನ ದಿನಿಕ ದದ್ರಗ ದಿನ ದಿನಿಕ ದದ್ರಗ ದಿನ
Jenu tani jam tani tak ಕಡತಕ ತಾಕಿಟ್ಟೆ ತಕ್ಕಧೆ ಹೇ ತಧೆ ಕಡತಕ ತಾಕಿಟ್ಟೆ ತಕ್ಕಧೆ ತಾಕಿಟ್ಟ ತಕ್ಕಧೆ ತಾಧೆ ಹೇ ಕಡತಧೆ ತಾಕಿಟ್ಟೆ ತಕ್ಕಧೇಣು ತಾಧೆ ಹೇ ಕಡತಧೆ ತಾ ಥೀಂದ ತಕ ತರಿ ಕಿಟ ತಾ ಥೀಂದ ಹೇ ಕಡತಧೆ ತಾ ಥೀಂದ ತಕ ತರಿ ಕಿಟ ತಾ ಥೀಂದ ಹೇ ಕಡತಧೆ ಧೈ ತರಕಧೆ ಕಡತಧೆ ತರಕಧೆ ಧೈ ತರಕಧೆ ಧೈ ತರಕಧೆ ಧೈ ತರಕಧೆ 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 ಧೈ ತರಕಧೆ धिना 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 धे गृदा धिनि धा धातुं धे गृदा धिनि धा धातुं धे गृदा धिनि धा धातुं
आदिदेव नमस्तुभ्यं प्रसीद मम भास्कर आदिदेव नमस्तुभ्यं प्रसीद मम भास्कर दिवाकर नमस्तुभ्यं दिवाकर नमस्तुभ्यं प्रभाकर नमस्तुते
धान धान धातृ के दधि घन
सप्तास्वर थमारूढ प्रचण्डं कश्यपात्मजा सप्तास्वर थमारूढ प्रचण्डं कश्यपात्मजा श्वेत पद्मं धारं देवं श्वेत पद्मं धारं देवं तं सूर्यं प्रणमामि तं सूर्य प्रणमामि
कर धै ता धै ता धै कृतकधै कर धै ता धै कृतकधै थिन थिना किटा थिना किटा थिना किटा थिन थिना किटा थिना किटा थिना थिन थिना किटा थिना किटा थिना किटा थिन थिना किटा थिना किटा थिना ता धै कृतकधै ता धै कृतकधै ता धै कृतकधै
मोहितं रथमारूढं साद्बलो
da dhini dha da da dha da da dha da da dhini dha da da dha da da dha da da dhini dha da da dha dha da da dhini dha da da dha da da dha na dha na dha da da dadi ga na dha na dha dha da da dadi ga na dha na dha na dha da da dadi ga na
लोहितं रथमारूढं साद्बलोकपितामहं ताजेणुकी ताजेणु तारी जं झेणु तारी ताजेणु ताजेणु जं ताजेणुकी ताजेणु तारी जं झेणु तारी ताजेणु ताजेणु जं झेणु ताजं झेणु ताकेटा जं झेणु ताजेणु जं झेणु ताकेटा जं झेणु ताजं झेणु ताकेटा जं झेणु ताजेणु जं ताजेणु ताका झेणु झेणु तारी ताजेणु ताजेणु ताका झेणु झेणु तारी ताजेणु तारी तारी ताजेणु ताजेणु तारी झेणु तारी तारी ताजेणु ताजेणु तारी झेणु तक्तलांग तागदिगन तक्तलांग तागदिगन तक्तलांग तागदिगन लोहितं रथमारूढं साद्बलोकपितामहं महापापं हरं देवं महापापं हरं देवं तं सूर्यं प्रणमामि तं सूर्य प्रणमामि.
Hi, my name is Ramli Ibrahim. I am a chairman of Sutra Foundation based in Kuala Lumpur. For a number of years now that we have established Sutra Dance Theatre, perhaps for 4 decades already, whereas Sutra Foundation itself was established in 2007. It was very difficult for us to get the status of a foundation. Now, my background is very eclectic. I have a very strong background in ballet, modern dance, but I specialize in 2 Indian classical dance styles, and that is Bharatanatyam and Odissi. But recently I have been, or Sutra has been known to have been doing a lot more work in Odissi. It's very exciting to do Odissi, really, because it is something new. Sutra have literally supplanted Odissi into the soil of Malaysia. So Malaysians are very well know Odissi as one of the Indian classical dance form. For the last literally 4 decades, we have been performing not just in Kuala Lumpur, but in all the major cities of Malaysia, from south to right down to north to east, west, and we have performed comprehensively, and also have done a lot of articles, a lot of film has been done. So audience are familiar and loved Odissi. Now the Odissi Sutra do is the Deva Prasad Parampara. I have been going and specialize in this particular parampara much more, though I'm very familiar with the Kalucharan Mahapatra, and we have several items of Pankaj Dharan Sir items also, but mainly our specialization is on the Guru Deva Prasad repertoire, and I kind of like this repertoire because it has a very austere approach with lesser embellishment, and also as opposed to the Kalucharan Mahapatra repertoire, the Deva Prasad concentrate more on the Shaivite work, some of the strongest work, though of course he does work like Gita Govinda and all that, but his major works are on the Shiva item, things like Ashtashambhu, Shivashtaka, and all that kind of thing are very strong item of Deva Prasad with the goddess Dasa Mahavidya and all that kind of thing. And I find that tantric underlaying of Deva Prasad is very powerful for us, and we do this very much. And the other thing is, we felt that the Malaysian Odissi dancer have now achieved their own kind of characteristic identity, mainly because we cannot help it. But just as I think you can tell where the Delhi Odissi dancers or the Orissa Odissi dancers, whether they are from Gangadhar Sir or Odissi Research Center or the Deva Prasad style, Guru Durga Chanranveer or Guru Gajendra Gopal Panda, we kind of know. So I think the Malaysian Odissi dancers have also achieved their own kind of look, and I think that's because of the training. I never negated the fact that I had a very strong ballet training. So in preparing the body of the dancer itself, we spend a lot of time in terms of the body conditioning, stretching the body so that the dancers are not kind of a dynamic covering of space. But also the other thing is that the how the space is being used is also different, because a lot of the work I learned as a solo item, but when it comes to the group work, then I bring in my idea of group composition, and we're not just looking from the frontal angle, we're looking from a different angle, different group composition, where there is spiral formation or a diagonal kind of thing. And so I think for the last 30 years, Sutra had concentrated also on group composition, and we've known for experimenting on this idea of the group rather than the solo dancer only. Odisha is actually the new name for a very ancient kingdom, as you all know, Kalinga. And I think Kalinga has a very strong influence for centuries in the area of Southeast Asia. And before we have these national borders and what is India, what is Burma, what is Malaysia and Indonesia, I think we possibly have a kind of a more pervasive culture where globalization is not just a new word that is coined now. We were very connected. We were connected in our myth, in our culture, in our food, in our how we look at ourselves in terms of even our beliefs. They are very interconnected. So we share this mythic connection, and I feel that there is a churn of culture in the Indian Ocean, and and I believe in this individual kind of connection, not connection that is spurred by economic or political thing, but connection between people. And this is what Sutra does also in a lot of the touring. We don't only tour Malaysia, but we tour a lot overseas. And we look at our book called Quintessential Sutra, where there's a map, you'll find that we have already covered as many as 150 cities, and more than 55 cities are from India. So we have toured from Ludhiana right down to the south of Tanjavur, and we have performed from Thiruvananthapuram to Imphal to everywhere. And of course, I perform in Calcutta many times. Calcutta is one of my favorite cities of India, with such incredibly cultured audience. And so it is a wonderful thing of connecting. And I must let you know that a lot of the language, even in the Malay language, has been derived and inspired by Sanskrit. Even the description of our aesthetics things, rasa, is also a Malay word. The description of our raja, description of a lot of the experience, culinary experience, a lot of the aesthetic experience that comes from Sanskrit. So it is not something, so the idea of diaspora sometimes is a bit strange because there is a great connection between, say, Kuala Lumpur, where I stay, and Chennai. And lately, when there is a direct flight to Bhubaneswar in Odissi and Calcutta, there's an incredible kind of traffic. And, in 3 hours time, you Indians will come to Malaysia, or Malaysians to India, So there is a very, very real connection between India and Malaysia, or Southeast Asia for that matter. Now, so the great teachers from Kelu Babu to Bridu Maharaj to Padma Subramaniam, come and go to Singapore, to Malaysia, to Kuala Lumpur, very, very often. So I have got all the gurus from Guru Gadidra Kumar Panda to Sharmila Biswas, to Madhavi Mudgal, to Durga Charan Ranbir, who have come and become residents to Sutra Foundation. Now, yes, there has been, during the pandemic, a lot of things happening, especially online, and we've got to know all these new dancers, and this is a very exciting indeed. But I think one of the things is that I'm so glad that there is a consciousness of keeping the standard high, keeping the essence of the dance and authenticity high. And my advice to young dancers is that I think without the passion, without the hard work, you can have the talent, but without the passion and hard work, without also the blessing of the teacher, because as you know, that finding the right teacher is one of the important things in making a dancer. And it's such a difficult career, if you want to make a career, but I think it's important for you to hang on, because if you are chosen by the dance, then it is important that you somehow find a way that the dance become a major part of your life. The dance become one of your raison d'être, or reason of being.
I'm totally awestruck seeing the diverse choreographies and performances by Guru Ramli Ibrahim. Thank you so much. Sharon Lowen is one of the most highly respected exponents of Odissi, Manipuri and both Mayurbhanj and Seraikela Chau. Her Odissi Guru, Padma Vibhushan Guru Kelucharan Mahapatra, once said of Sharon Lowen in the Festival of India USA tour, after accompanying her in 22 performances, that she is now one of my 5 best disciples who I can unhesitatingly recommend to represent the Odissi dance form anywhere in the world. Sharon has mastered the tradition. What a compliment, or should I say a blessing, a disciple can ever think of. As a performing artist, scholar, teacher, writer and organizer, she has dedicated her life to improving the appreciation and understanding of Indian dance traditions, both here and abroad, making India her karma bhumi after first arriving as a Fulbright scholar in 1973. She has received many awards and honors, including the prestigious Acharya Narendra Dev Sarokar Samajik Samman by the former Prime Minister Chandrasekhar Singh and the Delhi Administration Parishad Samman for individual contribution to Indian arts. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Sharon Lowen has performed her own choreographies in Sanskrit, Oriya and in several other languages in major festivals like Khajuraho, Sangeet Natak Academy Odissi Festival in Bhubaneswar, etc. As a scholar, she has received the senior fellowships of the American Institute of Indian Studies and the Smithsonian Foundation, and also taught at colleges and universities throughout the United States. She has set up the School of Visual and Performing Arts and Communication at the Central University, Hyderabad. Her own example has changed public and rasikas' opinion in recognition of serious foreign exponents of Indian performing arts. So here we have Sharon Lowen. Let us hear her journey to India.
पातुं पक्ष्मलनेत्रम् उन्नमयतः साचिकरोति आननम् पातुं पक्ष्मलनेत्रम् उन्नमयतः साचिकरोति आननम् व्याजेनापि अभिलाष पूरण सुखम् निर्वर्तयतेव मे निर्वर्तयति एव मे तजं तजेन तकुतरिजेन उपनारि तकुतरि तजेन 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 Tajinam, tajinam, tajinu, 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 aham tajina, mari tajina, aham tajina, mari tajina, aham tajina, tajina.
कौतूहल में भगवान शंकर अपनी पलकों को बंद करते हैं जैसे नींद।
कैतवेन सैते कुतूहलात् पार्वती प्रतिमुखं निपातितं चक्षुः उन्मिष्यति सस्मितं प्रिये विद्युता हतमिव न्यमीलयत्।
जब शंकर हठात पार्वती को एकांत में ले गए तो पार्वती ने दोनों हाथों से उनकी नेत्र प्रभा को ढक लिया, परंतु वह अत्यंत विवश हो गई जब ललाट स्थिर नेत्र की दृष्टि को रोकने में वह असमर्थ हो गई।
शूलिनः करतलद्वयेन सा सन्निरुध्य नयने पीतांशुका तस्य पश्यति ललाटलोचने मोघयत्न विधुरा रहस्यभूत्।
पार्वती दर्पण में अपनी पिछली रात्रि का दर्शन बिंबित करना चाहती है तो उसमें उसे प्रियतम भी पीछे खड़े हुए दिखाई देते हैं। सखियां रात्रि के अनुभव के वर्णन का आग्रह करती हैं तो लाज से वह निशब्द हो जाती है।
अनुयक्तुमुद्यतं सा प्रभात समये सखी जनम ना करोदप कुतूहलं प्रिय ना करोदप कुतूहलं प्रिय संसी विदयेन तद्वरे दर्पणं च परिभोगदर्शिनी पृष्ठतः प्रणयिनो निषेदुषः प्रेक्षबिम्बमुपबिम्बमात्मनः प्रेक्षबिम्बमुपबिम्बमात्मनः कानि कानि न चकार लज्जया कानि कानि न चकार लज्जया
रक्तबीजसूरसंहरिणी महाकाली महाकाली रक्तबीजसूरसंहरिणी रक्तबीजसूरसंहरिणी महाकाली
चंपार परिचय स्वतः किए ताकू डाके सांताणी चंपा आउ किए डाके हरकला मंगराज सहित तार संपर्कटा कौन एटा रहस्यमय तेबे आमे जहा जानू मंगराज उआसरे चंपार भारी भाव सत्य जमती मालकणी
Not a single classical poet has succeeded in finding a metaphor befitting the gaits of a beautiful lady. Apt similes and metaphors should be used at all times. A swan sometimes waddles. At other times it half jumps, half flies.
স্বাধীন ভক্তিকা পঞ্চজন আগে ছিল, স্বাধীন ভক্তিকা পঞ্চজন আগে ছিল, অবক্ষ উলঙ্গিনী মুরুকি নাচে, অবক্ষ উলঙ্গিনী মুরুকি নাচে, পরপুরুষକୁ ধରି নর্তকী সুন্দরী, পরপুরুষକୁ ধରି নর্তকী সুন্দরী, প্রজ্বল পুরিত লোচন ভালে, প্রজ্বল পুরিত লোচন ভালে, ঘুঙ্গুম সাখিল ভুঞ্জিত গলে, ঘুঙ্গুম সাখিল ভুঞ্জিত গলে, কঙ্কণ চূড়ি হস্ত বিরাজে, কঙ্কণ চূড়ি হস্ত বিরাজে, ছম 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 ঢুকিয়া ঢুকিয়া বাজে, ছম 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 ঢুকিয়া বাজে। দেখি সৌকি জানতি
after almost 50 years in India as an exponent of classical Indian dance, I'd like to share with you what inspired me to travel on this path. There are many motivations and goals for pursuing classical Indian dance. We all know that classical Indian dance traditions first evolved as a spiritual consciousness rather than a simple aim for entertainment. But when it moved to the concert stage, it's up to the artist and their guru, to some extent, to choose whether to feature your technical skill, your rhythmic virtuosity, your personal attractiveness, or simply the entertainment value as your priority, or whether you want to evoke rasa by creating a sacred space that can be transformational for the audience. In the Natya Shastra, Desi does not mean folk, but performance that's entertaining. And Margi means the performance that is aimed to evoke rasa and take you to a transcendental or metaphysical experience. Now, growing up, I was fortunate to attend many theater, dance, music, all kinds of performances from all over the world. And I experienced that transformational experience. It was something that I wanted to be a part of, and I wanted to be able to share it with others. And also growing up, I was fortunate to be exposed to many multicultural elements. As far as India goes, I saw Satyajit Rai's Pantar Panchali when I was 10, the age of Durga. I had family friends who were from India, and even read Bengali books, for instance, like Babani Bhattacharya and also, of course, Mugrajanand. And of course, there were many other influences, seeing things from all over the world, Asia, Africa, Europe, everywhere. Now, as I grew up, alongside all of my activities, book clubs, creative drama, puppetry, civil rights, and the war activism, I was also the first freshman elected to student government at the University of Michigan. But I wanted to travel. I wanted to experience other cultures because I really didn't know where I might want to fit in, where I might want to live. So after I managed to go to Mexico, spend 2 summers in Europe, India was on my list. And the only way to get here was as a Fulbright scholar. I wasn't sure whether to come to continue my interest in puppetry or continue my Manipuri dance, but I felt that my Manipuri would inform whatever I chose to do in the future. It was not my intention to become a classical Indian dancer. I think that would have been really crazy. In those days, no one considered foreigners capable of being more than students. Now, while I was here, toward the end of my 2nd year, I decided that I would love to take the workshop that Guru Kelucharan Mahapatra offered at Triveni Kala Sangam. I had seen the first year how he was able to teach so many students so beautifully. And I took permission from my Manipuri guru to just take the workshop for academic reasons, just for an understanding. And when I started learning with Guruji, his Guru Kripa, his generosity as a teacher, and he motivated me. He insisted that I must make a costume, I must record the music, and I must continue. And the reason that today I'm known as an Odissi dancer is only due to his wonderful teaching and all of his encouragement. After I had returned to America to see what I can do, performed hundreds of school programs, concerts, and was teaching, I felt I could come back. And when I did, I continued my journey of Odissi alongside my Mayurbhanj Chow and my Manipuri. But the thing is that in Odissi, the opportunity to unpeel the onion of Abhinaya, of going deeply into the text and becoming more involved in that way, was something that really has kept me going and is really why I love to continue exploring. And staying in India meant that I had musicians to accompany me, musicians to help me with compositions, and the opportunities and invitations to perform at various festivals and places where I would explore different themes, whether it was Hanuman Dhyana slokas at Sankat Mochan, or Tyagaraja for various festivals, or simply in Kerala creating things, invocations to Padmanabhan, or doing Swati Tirunel, or Vatsalya Ras or Manatingal. And then over the years, so many programs for Doordarshan allowed me to explore doing things in everything from Dogra to Bengali, and so it's been wonderful exploring the opportunity to create solos and group compositions with dancers of other styles, and to create choreographies for my students. Now, one of the things is that because my journey as a classical Indian dancer in a country that we all know has a lot of hierarchy and patriarchy, is something that whatever I've achieved, I've done it without the support of family. I had no brothers, fathers, uncles, husbands that were well placed in government or in other fields. Even my batchmates were all back in America. And so therefore, whatever I've done, I took it as a gift. I never had a sense of entitlement, and every invitation to perform was something that I was extremely grateful to the sponsors for having confidence in me. I remember in 1978, Biman Ghosh of HMV Records saying, "Sharon, you're already among the top 10% of dancers in India, but you'll never get that recognition." And that was something that I accepted, and I never felt that, again, that I was entitled or that opportunities that came to others mattered, because I was grateful always to the rasikas who, once they saw me perform, were moved and appreciated it. I've had many minor awards and a few major ones over the years. When Chandrasekhar was Prime Minister, he created a Prime Minister's Award, the Acharya Narendra Dev's Sarkar Samajik Saman, and I've received the Sahitya Academy Award from Government of New Delhi. But I think most recently I was most touched by getting the Prabhasi Odia Saman and the Prabhasi Basa Saman. Now, I believe that one of the best ways to extend one's own personal achievements is to help others. And one of the ways I did that was creating, throughout the 90s, the Videshi Kalakar Utsav. And that gave me the opportunity to show in Delhi, and it extended across the country, that foreigners were not simply students, but also could be artists. And today, artists that are international have the same abilities, difficulties, challenges, and welcomes as any other artist. Sometimes even too much, where people have international festivals and merit is not really the criteria. In those Videshi Kalakar Utsavs, I presented over 50 artists, including, I was happy to introduce Ramli Ibrahim to Delhi, and I also brought Ileana Chittaristi for my festival. Now, at present, my NGO, Manasa Art Without Frontiers, is training young professionals, doing a great deal of outreach. I've done a couple of very well-received festivals. Last year, I did the Manodharma Festival, which had Pandit Birju Maharaj and Lakshmi Vishwanathan sharing the important method and example of what a single artist can do in creating their Manodharma performance. And then the seminars allowed several wonderful artists of various styles to talk about and show the process of how they create their Manodharma. And upcoming, I have an Odissi lemonade series to take the lemons of COVID and turn them into lemonade by having my students who have been taught 15 choreographies since last April to bring these together and present them. And Of course, along the way, I've done some writing. This past year, my book, Art Without Frontiers, Classical Dance and Music of India, was launched at Jaipur Lit Fest. And even more recently, Shringaran, Classical Indian Dance. And now in the video clips that I'm going to show you, I'm basically sharing all of my own choreography, or some of my own choreography. There's been many dozens. Choreography for myself and for my students. And also a little clip of rehearsing with Guruji for Sakhihe for the Swarnakamalam film, which was the first time a Telugu film had classical Odissi, and I played myself to inspire the heroine. And there's a couple of clips of Manipuri and Chow, which I've loved as much as Odissi over these past 50 years. And basically, the joy of simply committing to each step of a lifelong learning, of which Guruji was really the best example, is something that will lead anyone, all of you, to a life in arts that continues to endlessly enrich yourselves and others. So I hope you enjoy the clip, and I want to thank dear Aloka, who is a lovely person and has made this lovely program online, and I'm delighted to be a part of this and to share it with other outstanding, wonderful artists, all of whom I admire. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Sharon ji, for sharing your journey with us. We are grateful and thankful to these eminent gurus who not only have crossed the boundaries of their countries, but also crossed their limitations, their language and cultural differences for the sake of this art form. With this, we are ending here. A very big thanks to Ministry of Culture, Government of India for supporting Shinjan Nrityalaya. Our technical supports are Shankar Sen and Vaishali Bhuya for editing and videography. Poster designed by Shukradipta Dotto. A special thanks to all the viewers. Namaste and Shubh Ratri.